I've been a fan of this dude forever. His classification would be contemporary, but the movement to me looks very traditional, especially in these tall vertical sculptures. This type of repeating diagonals and counterbalance is very classical. It comes from the armatures of squares, rectangles, and compound grids. And like all things classical design, we learn this balanced rhythm from the study of nature. Plants are doing this all the time, trying to find that perfect angle while competing for sunlight. So if it feels familiar, it is. But what I didn't expect was compound grids from the base of rude rectangles, and this one is what gave me the clue. It's just a golden section on a square and a half, and after seeing it, I began to wonder what's going on with the long ones. Because the longer the rectangle gets, the more the reciprocal or golden section is pushed out to the sides. And this leaves you little to no options for divisions based on the primary reciprocal within the majority of a long thin space. Designers from the ancient world solved this problem by using compound grids. In this case, it's the same square and a half I found in the crag piece, times 3. And now you have loads of options for all these strong follow-through diagonals based on mathematical unity of the whole. And just one more thing before I get back on track. Since we're talking about a 1.5, here's how you make one manually. So if you're going to use this rectangle in a compound grid, or any rectangle being it root or square related, it should intersect in a way that makes sense. That means if you're not simply using them side by side, then they should intersect based on one of the major divisions created by the primary reciprocal. Okay. That should be enough context to understand what I think is going on here. And there's going to be distortion on pieces this size unless you're on a scissors lift with a 70mm on a full frame or greater. But the first thing I thought of when I saw this is those diagonals look like a square's diagonals, if you're including the base in the square's design. It makes sense given the weight of large-scale works in steel, cast iron, stone, or bronze. This one might be a little bit of a stretch, but I think it's 2 root 5s side by side, which would be a really interesting way to create these bonsai tree-like diagonals. And that's the key word here, interesting, because the opposite is obvious, and that's boring. So compound grids really allow you the option, or I would say as a contemporary artist, obligation, to not be boring. Just like the section is too far out to the sides on a long thin rectangle, it's too close to the middle on a short one. On a root 2, the golden section is also the armature, which is dead center. Stack 2 of those on top of each other using the center, and you have a very specific measurement, where the section on the individual rectangles now creates perfect thirds on the whole, and the left and right sides of the armatures of the original rectangles, which made thirds, is now the golden section of the whole. And that is amazing.